We're going to begin standing up. If you'd like to join me, please. Find your way to your mat or clear space on the floor. Find your feet firm into your mat. Maybe you have 1 or 2 fist width distance between your feet so that they're under the inner hip. Okay. Lift your toes and feel the rest of your foot press down into your mat. Feel how all of the muscles in your feet are working when you do that. And then squish all your toes down onto the floor. Feel how the muscles in the legs get strong. Pull your belly button back towards your spine. Bring your hands down by your sides, shoulders roll down the back. Even the fingertip muscles are strong. Everything from the tips of your toes into your fingertips is strong. All of your muscles working. This is mountain pose. Maybe you feel like a superhero here. You can imagine there's little beams of light coming from your chest and the palms of your hands. I am a superhero. I believe in myself full-heartedly, and I can do anything that I put my mind to. Feel that? Good. Now press one foot into the ground and lift the other knee and set it back down. Switch sides. So we're doing a slow march. Lift one foot and then the other. See if you can keep your belly engaged, your belly button pulling towards your spine. And march. Notice each time your foot touches the ground. Notice which parts of your foot touch the ground. Can you keep your toes flexed? If you look around, you might get wobbly, so find a place to look at, somewhere in front of you, and keep your eyes fixed on that spot. Couple more. High knees. Finding your core, finding your balance. And pause. Find your mountain pose again, feeling your feet press down into the earth, into the ground. And step one foot back, staying up on your toes and the ball of your foot. Bend into your front leg. Your hip bones are still facing forward. We're in a high lunge. And step it forward. Switch sides. Find your balance. Bend into your front leg. And step it forward. Another option is to have your hands on your hips. Step back. Woo. And forward. Other side. Step back. Bend into your knee. And step it forward. One more time on each side. We're going to add on a little bit. Step back. Bend into your knee. And pulse up and down. Pulse. Coming up onto the tips of the toes and back down. For 3, 2, 1. Step it forward. Shake that out. Other side. Step it back. Bend into your knee. And pulse, lifting up onto the toes and coming back down. For 3, 2, 1. Step it forward. Shake it out. Good. Find your feet in mountain again. Press your feet into the ground. Feel all the muscles in your legs work. Feel your belly working. Hands come down by your sides, looking forward. Breathe in, arms reach up. Breathe out, fold forward. Maybe you'd like to bend into the knees so your ribs can rest on top of your thighs. And then let the top of your head reach down towards the ground. Breathe in, halfway up. Breathe out, fold. Bend your knees a lot. Breathe in, sweep your arms all the way up. Breathe out, bring them down by your sides. Breathe in, arms float up. Breathe out, fold forward. Maybe you bend into the knees so your ribs can rest on your thighs. And then the top of the head reaches for the ground. Maybe then you begin to try and straighten the legs. Breathe in, halfway up. Maybe your hands are on the ground. Maybe they're on your shins. Breathe out, fold. Bend your knees a lot. Breathe in, sweep it all the way up. Look up, reach up. Breathe out, arms come down by your sides. Breathe in, arms sweep up. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, halfway up. Breathe out, fold. Bend your knees, breathe in, sweep it all the way up. Look up, reach up. Pause there for a moment. Next time you breathe out, arms slow down. Feel that warmth, that heat building in the body, playing with our balance already this morning. We're going to continue doing so. I'm going to turn to face you. You can stay exactly how you are. Okay. We're coming into tree pose. First, root your feet down into the ground. Feeling your toes connect to the ground. Shift your weight into one foot and come up onto the toes of the other foot. Turn your knee out to the side like you're opening a gate. And find a place for your foot to rest. Maybe your toes stay on the ground. Maybe you slide your foot up your leg. Your leg pushes into your foot pushes back into your leg. Your foot can be anywhere but on your knee. Okay? Listen to your body, move your way. Then find your arms like branches. So maybe your arms are down by your sides. Maybe they're up high. You could even keep your hands on your hips. Point your toes forward. Step your foot back, coming back into that lunge we already played with today. And if you'd like, reach your arms up overhead. Come up onto the tips of your toes and begin to shift your weight forward, coming into your warrior three. Finding a little balance. Another way to do this is just to keep the toes down or play around with lifting the toes and setting them back down. Come back into your lunge and step it forward. Let that go. Moving on to the other side, we've got two sides. Sometimes that doesn't feel super fortunate. Coming into your tree pose, the same way we set up last time. Push your foot into the ground. Lift up onto the opposite toes. Turn your knee out to the side. Find a place for your foot to rest. Anywhere along the leg, except for on top of the knee. If you fall out of it, come right back into it. And then find your arm expression. Would you like your arms up or on your hips? Point your toes forward. Step your foot back into that lunge. Yes. Now, if you feel playful and you want to challenge yourself today, let's see if we can do the same thing on this side. Arms reach up. Step that back foot in a little bit and begin to tip forward. Your eyes are really important here. Give them something to look at. And bring it back down. Step it forward and let all that go. Put your hands on your heart. Can you feel your heart beating in your chest? Maybe your skin is starting to feel a little warm. How's your breathing? Does your breath feel controlled and even? Or does it feel fast and a little out of control? Let's see if we can bring equality and balance into the breath before moving on. Breathe in for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out for the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 2, 3. Out. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Out. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Breathe in. 2, 3. Out. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Find your way back into your mountain pose. Coming back to mountain gives us an opportunity to reset, to focus on all of the muscles in the body, and to notice what the body's doing and why. When we connect our mind and our body, we have created true balance. Breathe in, your arms reach up. Let's slow this one down. Hold for a breath. Breathe out, fold forward. Again, we're going to stay here for a breath. Breathe in and out. Breathe in halfway up. Hold for your breath out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Plant your hands, step your feet back. Go into downward facing dog. So here, from your plank pose, you go right up. Maybe you walk your feet out a little bit further to give your lower back and your hamstrings a little more space. And then press your hands into the ground and bring your belly towards your thighs. Look back towards your belly button. Feel your hands and feet pressing into the ground. Maybe you'd even like to bring a bend into the knees to get more length through the back of your body. Notice yourself here. I am balanced, not only in yoga, but also in life. I am free to express myself and feel joy. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, lower the knees down onto the earth, onto the ground. Release the tips of the toes so that the top of the feet come flat onto the mat. Now we're in our tabletop with our hands under the shoulders and knees under your hips, okay? We're going to move into balanced tabletop. So please pay attention to your body and your body's needs today. Maybe you start with the toes and you stay up on the tip of the toes. Maybe you extend your opposite arm. So I have my left toes back, so my right arm's reaching forward. Maybe this is your pose for today. Or maybe you'd like to begin to lift the toes and reach your fingertips in one direction and your toes in the other. Breathe out, bring it back down. Switch sides. Opposite toes go back. Reach your hand forward. Maybe this is where you're at today. That's beautiful. That's great. If you'd like to play a little bit more, perhaps you begin to lift your toes. Feel yourself reaching in one direction with your fingers and pointing your toes in the other direction. Feeling that length and strength through your whole body. Breathe out, bring it back down. Yes, let's do it again. Other side, a little faster this time. Set it down, switch. Extend arm and leg. Set it down, switch. We're moving and grooving today. Next time, you extend, hold, and pulse up, 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 lower it down. Switch sides. Hold, pulse up, up, up. Yes, send it back to child's pose. Maybe you'd like to keep your knees together for this child's pose. Send your sit bones back to your heels. Keep your arms out long and let your head round down towards the ground. Feel your breath move against your thighs, your ribs expanding. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat. I am safe. I am loved. All my needs can be met with ease. Keep your hands right where they are. Press them into the ground and bring yourself forward over your wrists. And back to child's pose. Breathe out. Breathe in, extend over your wrists. Breathe out, send your hips back to your heels. Breathe in and out. Keep moving. Look up and round back. 2 more. 1 more. Stay in your child's pose. Maybe you allow your hands to come back and rest by your feet. If you'd like, you can walk the knees a little farther apart and bring your ribs down in between your thighs. Notice your breath. Be okay with the moments of silence in this practice. Feel your ribs expand into your thighs as you breathe in. And your belly button go towards your spine, towards your back as you breathe out. Slow it down. My mind and body are in balance. I listen to my body and meet its needs with ease. I believe in myself. I communicate clearly. When I speak, people understand what I need. And these are affirmations. The more we focus on them, the more that we say them, the more true that they become. As you breathe in, press your hands into the ground and begin to rise up. For just a moment, if your body will allow, sit yourself up over your heels. Otherwise, meet us in staff pose with your legs extended out in front of you. This is a really great posture for digestion. Some cultures even sit like this to eat. But if you sit like this for about 10 minutes after eating, it allows all of your internal organs to be lined up the way that they're supposed to be so that your food can digest in an easy and effortless manner. Bring your hands off to the side of your body. Sweep your legs out from underneath you and find your way onto your sit bones. Move any flesh out of the way so you can really feel those sit bones on the ground. Maybe rock back and forth so you can feel them. Allow the insides of your ankles to kiss. Hold them together. Maybe your hands are behind your back so that you can hold yourself up nicely. Maybe they're reaching forward. Listen to your body and move your way. Let's do some popcorn real quick. Let's loosen those up a little bit more. Popcorn your legs, bounce them up and down. Take your hands and pop the popcorn. Now we need to put the butter on. Swish the butter all the way to your toes. Maybe you point your toes and swish the butter as far as you can. Spread it all over the butter, or all over the popcorn. Point your toes. Find your hands either behind your back or along sides of your legs, pulling your heart forward. Allow your back to extend. Keep your head, the top of your head, reaching for the ceiling. And then fold forward. If you notice rounding in the back, come back up and come forward again. Again, this is another way to do this pose, keeping the knees bent. Okay, listen to your body. There's no one way to do anything. Every body is different, and everybody's yoga is different. Hold. Notice where you're feeling that. Do you feel it in the back of the top of your legs? Do you feel it behind your knees or in the lower legs? Do you feel it in your back or the sides of your hips? Notice. Maybe you can send your breath into that area. Maybe you find stillness or maybe you find a little wiggle. Both are good. Both are okay. Sometimes it's hard to sit still and to notice what our body's doing. And that's really important. It's really important to be able to sit still and notice our body. But sometimes we need to play a little, right? We need to bounce back and forth before we find that stillness. Before our body's like, okay, I'm ready to settle enough to have you listen to my needs. Okay, so we practiced having that nice straight back here. Let's try something a little bit different. Round your back as much as you can and bring the top of your head closer to your knees. Let your head hang. Let the muscles in your neck feel soft. Notice how different this pose feels just by changing one thing. Do you feel it more in the back body? Do you feel it in different areas? Maybe all the way up to the base of your head. Notice that difference. Let every time you breathe out, let your head feel heavier, your neck muscles feel softer. Maybe 2 or 3 more breaths here. Bring the breaths fully into your body. And let them go, letting go of anything that you don't need anymore. Maybe you turn your head side to side, like you're saying no, or like you're saying yes. As you breathe in, roll up, stacking your back bones like Legos. Shoulders roll down your back. Slide one foot to the inside of the other leg. You know how we had our legs in tree pose? We're doing the same thing, but seated. Notice when I did that, my hips did not shift. My sit bones are anchored to the floor, and I just slid my leg in. So maybe that means your foot's lower, or maybe it's higher. Wherever you are is great. Find your hands behind your back to find that length through the back of your body. And as you breathe out, begin to move forward. Maybe just walking the fingertips in just a bit. We did some fast-paced moving at the beginning of class. We heated up our body. We slowed down our mind by speeding up our body. Now, to bring balance into the practice, we slow down the body and see if we can keep the mind just as slow. Sometimes our thoughts are like ping pong balls and they're bouncing all over the place. And we're not having full, complete thoughts because there's just so much happening in our brains. See if you can slow it down. Organize some of those ping pong balls. Put away the ones that we don't need. And breathe. When your mind starts to wander, come back to your breath. Maybe you go back to that 3-part breath. Let's switch sides and we'll go over that again. Extend this leg. Same thing we did on the other side. Bring the foot to the inside of the leg, anywhere but on the knee, without moving your seat or your sit bones. Your toes are facing up towards the ceiling and pulling back towards your face. Breathe in, find length in the back of the body. And as you breathe out, begin to fold forward. You might notice that this side of the body feels different. That's okay. Meet that with curiosity instead of judgment. It is way more fun to be curious about things than it is to be judgmental. And it makes life happier for everybody. So coming back into that 3-part breath. Remember when we were feeling our heartbeat when we were standing up? And we were talking about how we can breathe in for a count of 3 and breathe out for a count of 3. That's called equal parts breath. See if you can find that again here. Maybe you're breathing into 2, 3, 4, or even 5, and then breathing out for that same number. If there's strain in the breath, bring it down 1 number. So if you're at 4 and you're feeling like you have to really suck the air in and try and make space for it, go back to 3 and see if you can breathe a little bit more easily. Bring your attention into the body. Let the breath move through you. Breath is our life force. So incredible. It happens without us even thinking about it. Breathe in, rise up. This time bringing the pads of the feet together and allow the knees to soften down towards the ground or your mat. Maybe you'd like your feet to be farther away from your body. Maybe you'd like to pull them in close. You can choose today. Next time I'll ask you to do the opposite. Bring your hands to your ankles. Roll your shoulders down your back. Pull your belly button towards your back. Shine your heart towards your feet. Breathe in, get really tall. Feel the top of your head. Reach for the ceiling. Breathe out, begin to fold forward. Slow and easy. Breathe in, grow tall. Breathe out, roll forward. Maybe your elbows hug in towards your ribs to help support your body. Maybe they come onto the tops of your legs to press your knees down a little bit closer to the earth. Maybe you'd like to extend your hands out and come onto your elbows, or even walk your hands out in front of your body. Notice where you feel this now. Is there anything here that you'd like to release? So for me, I feel this in my hips, like low in my hips back here. So I'm gonna send my breath all the way from my nose, down my body, into my hips, and feel it swirl. And then when I breathe out, I'm gonna let everything go that I don't need. See if I can let go of some of that tension. Notice what your body's asking of you today. Breathe in to come up. Once again, we're going to round the back this time. Allow the top of your head to come closer to your feet. Support yourself however you feel is most comfortable and most supportive. Maybe your hands are on the ground again. Notice how different this pose feels when you change one thing. Is there one thing in your life that you could change to feel things differently or to see things differently? Notice which one you like more. Did you like it better when we had our backs long and straight? Or do you like it better to be rounded? Breathe in to rise up. Take a moment to massage your feet. We have a lot of nerve endings in our feet. It's said that different areas of the feet are connected to different organs in our body. So if you take a moment to massage your feet, your whole body benefits. A 5-minute foot massage before bed can help you sleep better too. Maybe you do this yourself and make it part of your self-care routine, reminding yourself that self-care is not selfish, it's self-full. And when we take care of ourselves, we have more of ourselves to give to others. Thank you, feet. You're amazing, and I love you. When you're done, bring your hands to the outside of your knees. Hug your knees together. Wrap your arms around your legs and offer yourself a big hug. Again, find that nice length through the back first. Feel the top of your head, reaching for the ceiling. Hold your belly in, belly button coming towards your back. And then round your back. Let your hands pull into your legs as you round your back as much as you can, and bring your forehead close to your knees. Notice the space you're creating in the back of your body. Breathe into this little cave space you've created between your chest and your legs. Breathe into your upper back. Feel how the breath can move into the muscles and massage them, releasing tension from the inside. Keep that roundedness in the back. Come up onto the tips of your toes and slowly roll down. Let your back come onto the mat. Keep your hands on your legs. Hug them into your chest. Nice little squeeze. I love myself, and I am worthy of this love. Start to rock side to side. Place your hand on the outside of the opposite knee. So I have my right hand on my left knee. My left hand is going to go onto the ground. Bring your knees across your body. So I'm bringing my knees to the right first, creating some 90-degree angles in the knee and the ankle joints. And see if you can keep both shoulders on the ground. Your hand can rest on top of your knee to help support you. Feel your ribs move away from your hip. And maybe you even look over the opposite shoulder, looking over towards your opposite fingers. Breathe deep into the belly here. Feel your belly expand as you breathe in. Breathe in, look up towards the ceiling. Breathe out, bring your knees back through center. And let's switch sides. The opposite hand comes out. So now I'm using my left hand on my right knee. You do whatever side you haven't done yet. And bringing it across to the left side of my body. See if you can create those 90-degree angles in the knee and in the ankles. And then maybe you even turn your gaze over to the opposite side. Let both shoulders stay down on the earth, on the ground beneath you. And breathe into your belly. You might notice that this side of the body feels different than the other side. Sometimes we feel like we need to spend more time on one side of the body than the other. If that happens, that's okay. You can hang out. You can stay there for a moment. Breathe in, look up towards the ceiling. Breathe out, bring your knees back through center, maybe rock and roll or rock side to side a little bit. And then find your way into a comfortable position for our resting pose. This is a really important time. So find your way into any position that feels comfortable for you. I like to lay on my back, but maybe you'd prefer to lay on your side or your belly, or even sit up on the floor or in a chair. Wherever you are, notice if you're holding on to anything. Do you feel any tension in the muscles? Maybe you want to let go of your fingers and your toes. Maybe you allow your toes to flop out to the sides. This final pose is actually a yoga pose. It's our resting pose, and this is the time where we take in, process, and absorb all of the goodness that we've done for our body and our minds in the last 40 minutes. If you do nothing else in your daily yoga practice, do this. Notice all the parts of your body that are touching the ground. Notice if there's any muscles that you can let go of or any little adjustments you want to make to feel completely comfortable. Allow yourself to feel safe. Allow yourself to feel balanced. Allow yourself to feel peace. Here, just notice the breath. Don't try to change it. Just notice it. Allow your eyes to rest. Maybe you look down towards your mouth and nose. Maybe you close your eyes completely. Invite in 1 minute of silence. 1 minute where there is no one telling you what you need to be doing. There's nowhere else that you need to be. Nothing else that you need to be doing. This moment is just for you. As you breathe in, know that you are breathing in. As you breathe out, do so with the awareness that you are breathing out. Begin to invite movement into the body. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. Let your legs sway side to side in the hip sockets. Perhaps you even take a full body stretch, reaching your arms in one direction and pointing your toes in the other. Next time you breathe out, wrap your legs into your chest, your arms around your legs, and give yourself one more of those yummy, delicious hugs. Roll onto one side, coming into the fetal position, that first posture of our creation. A reminder that everything that we need exists within us. When you're ready, maybe you allow your eyes to stay closed if you have them closed. Press your hand into the ground and rise up into a seated position, any comfortable seat. Take a moment to notice. Notice any shifts, anything that's different in your mind or body. Let your shoulders slide down your back. To bring balance to the brain and body, bring your hands out. Allow them to be really strong, all the muscles working. And then press them together. Bring your elbows out and push your hands together as hard as you can. And let it go. Rest your hands on top of your knees. If you've opened your eyes, allow the gaze to turn down slightly. We will close with our 3 breaths all together. Breathe in. I love myself. Breathe out. Love to all. Breathe in. I am kind to myself. Breathe out. Kindness to all. Breathe in. I am strong. Breathe out. Strength to all. Begin to flutter your eyes open. Blink, blink, blink. Let the natural light come back in. Maybe move your eyes around, looking at the corners of your room. Welcoming yourself into this space, into this day, and knowing that you have the choice to make it a wonderful day. From my heart to yours, I see you, I honor you, I love you. Thank you for practicing with me today.